Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 5. And just on my way here for the day, just getting out. And today's going to be a long one. Let me think here. Just start from the beginning. Today I am driving about 550 miles. And then I'm going to hit a minimum of 5 casinos, possibly 7 on the way out, and probably 5 or 6 on the way back. And it should be an overnight trip, just depending on how things go and timing and weather and all that kind of stuff. And so right now it's 22 degrees. And just wanted to say everything is good at home with the furnace, so I'm not going to even worry about it anymore. Tomorrow is going to be the coldest day of the year, and I think it should hold up fine. We're doing fine this year, one step at a time, chipping away at it, so that's all good. And remember, I told you I was limited on one of the things that I was trying to do, and I was making about $500 a week on it. It looks like I may not be totally limited. They're asking me for more information, so I provided that this morning, and hopefully that gets cleared up and I'm able to make more money. It's just some of the things you do as an advantage player. You use so much money to make so little money. You put out 1,000 to make 50 or something like that, and so now you're putting out 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 to make 300, and companies are like, well, what's going on here? You just transferred all these tens of thousands of dollars. We just want to make sure everything is okay, and that's, I think, what I'm dealing with. And I'm also dealing with jurisdiction legalities also. As I'm driving, sometimes I go through a jurisdiction where something is not available, and sometimes that can come back to bite you. So that's what's happening. And I got a message early this morning from a friend, and he was telling me about, he's having a rough month this month, and he feels like he talks to me every other day. You know who you are. And I just wanted to say to my friend in Vancouver, hang in there. You're doing a great job. From the time that we met through this podcast till now, you've come a long way from making nothing to making some decent money that people would love to make, and your knowledge has increased so much, and I totally respect that, and you're awesome. Just keep up the good work and the money will come. So anyway, all right, we are off to our first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, as we are approaching our first casino, less than 10 miles away from there now, I just wanted to tell you about something that happened yesterday at work. So, yesterday I was working on, I was getting into a meeting, and I didn't have my headset with me. So I decided to connect my Bluetooth to my laptop. So my regular headphones that I use in the car for listening to music or whatever. So I connect it, but it trips off an audio file on my phone at maximum volume, like right in the middle of my cubicle with people all around me. And it says, all right, good afternoon, guys. And it's my podcast. And I'm like, I don't know how do I turn this off? Because I'm just about to say MWUSA and the season and all that. And I'm like fumbling, and I drop my phone, and it turns off the screen, and it silences it. And I'm so relieved. Then I'm so scared what I'm going to do here. So I end up turning it off. But when I go to turn it off, I've got a lock screen. It wants me to unlock the screen before it turns off. So I'm like praying, I'm getting ready to put it under my leg or something like that to silence it. But I unlock it, and it shuts down, and I keep it shut down till the end of the meeting. and then I go down the hall and turn it back on. But that was a scary moment there, because if that gets out, then everything is finished, because obviously I talk about my work and what I do and how I get around things and all that kind of stuff. So scary moment there, and especially since the phone fell. If the screen hadn't turned itself off and silenced itself, I would have been totally screwed, because usually when I play those files, it continues talking even when the screen is off, so I would have been cooked at that point. So anyway, coming up on our first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, just leaving this casino, and walk in, look in, and I see a play that's been there for almost a month that nobody dares play, and it's not for me. I pass on that one. And there's another one that's been around for a while, but it's out of my range. Other people think it's in range, but they're afraid to play it because it's $15 a spin. But as for me, it's not even close to my range, so I think people are going to lose a lot of money playing that. So here, so I continue on. I find one play, I play that through, I make like $40. Then walk through the rest of the casino. I go to the far reaches of the casino. They have like an area way in the back. I go back there and I see this guy that's always asking for money, and he walks with me. I go to the kiosk and I have a $15 food coupon, good for today only, but the food area hasn't opened yet, and I'm not going to be back today. So he's like, can I have it? I'm like, go ahead. If you don't get in trouble, go ahead and use it. I don't care. So I gave it to him. And then I played one other machine, made about $14, and that was really all that I could find. He did tell me that this other guy who comes in and strips the place naked was already in this morning. He comes in between 2 and 4 in the morning, and he said that he already cleaned everything out. I guess he has a job that starts at like 5 in the morning, so he comes in before that. So, and it's interesting because we were trying to discuss where this guy gets his money from, and this guy basically said, I don't ask any questions, but his job is like a warehouse type job, some kind of a low level job, so he's probably only making like $10-12 an hour, and he's in there losing $3,000 or $4,000 a day. So who knows what he really does. You could probably have some guesses lined up for, you know, what that could be. But anyway, it was pretty cleaned out. So I ended up, how long was I really there? I don't even know what time I got here. I don't know. I was probably in there for only like 25 minutes or so, and I ended up leaving ahead $54. So right now we're going to move on to the next place. It's only an hour from here, so we're going to go hit that place, hopefully make some money, and I'll be back to update you. Alright, so while I was in that casino, I just noticed that I got some messages from my team that one of our suppliers, Palo Alto, which does a lot of IT security stuff, wants to take us out for a, quote, team building exercise, and they want to do some kind of virtual reality garbage team building something. So of course that costs me money. Everything that everybody does costs me money. So like in the old days, when you're working a regular job and you're bored and don't know what to do, you like beg for things like this, right? All you want is like, oh, let's have a team lunch, let's have a team exercise, let's, you know, whatever kind of thing. And when you start doing what we're doing, then you're like, please let me just have the status quo so I can find ways around it so I can still make money while earning a living. And so that looks like it's going to be on Monday, which is good because I'm in town Monday anyway. So and it's going to be in the afternoon, so I'll hit the casino in the morning instead of lunch, and then probably spend the afternoon with these clowns, and then I will probably try to hit it after work. So might still make the same money on Monday despite this team building exercise. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Just to give you an update, an idea of the weather. Where I live, we have about 4 or 5 inches of snow, and I am only like 3 hours from home right now, and it is 27 degrees, no snow on the ground, roads are dry, nothing going on. So very interesting. However, I hear the place that I'm going has a lot of snow. I haven't looked it up yet, but so we want to make sure that I give it enough time to get there. So anyway, continuing on, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I'm sitting in the car. I was about half an hour away from my next spot, and I got a meeting request for an immediate meeting regarding a possible problem, a possible incident at work. And so we got the whole group together, pulled over, sat around, listening, and eventually continued on my trip with everybody on the call with me. And now I'm sitting in a parking lot waiting for this meeting to end so I can get in and potentially make some money. So that's what's going on right now. It's really delaying me, and I got such a packed schedule the next day or so. Hopefully this wraps up in the next half hour and I can get in there and make some money. So that's what's going on. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. This is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. This is what happened. Let me tell you what happened, okay? All right. I walk in this casino. I see a group of slot advantage players standing by the front. So I knew they'd already cleaned the place out. They were just hanging out. So I'm like, I'll still do my lap, but I don't expect anything. So I'm doing my lap. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. So I decided to go ahead and play some blackjack. I want to play a little bit lower limit today. I'm trying to just stay cool, not be like... I've said this before. The problem with bigger tables is if I'm playing $100 minimum, I only have 100 bets before I CTR. And I don't want to CTR, especially at places that I've been for 4 years and no one suspects me of anything. So I start playing. I sit down. I buy in, playing $100 table, spreading from 100 to 500. So start playing. When the second hand, get a blackjack on the second hand. Third hand, starting on the third hand, I go 11 hands without winning a hand. And now I'm rebuying and rebuying and rebuying. And then I get a push and lose 4 more, and a win and lose 3 more. And it was just bad. So I'd been at that table for about half an hour, and another guy comes to the table, and I'm losing everything. Everything I'm doing is not working. Guy comes to the table, wants to get in. I'm like, get your ass in here. What's wrong with you? So he sits down, starts playing. He's one of these guys that slows down the table and talks and just wants to have a conversation. Doesn't give a damn about his cards or his money. He just wants to talk to somebody. So the count's going negative and negative and negative, and we're at 2.5 decks to go, and we're at a minus 16 or 17 or 18, somewhere in there. So I had just busted, and instead of rebuying with a negative count like that, I said, hold it for me, I'll be right back. So I go to the bathroom, just taking my time, coming back, wash my hands, come back out, and then I come back, and he's still not done with the damn shoe. So I'm like, come on. So finally he finishes the shoe. I start playing. He's just so slow. The count goes negative. I switched to the other table. The other table had 3 people on it, and they had all just vacated it. And so I switch over there, and I sit down and start playing there. And I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm down probably 2,500 at this point, but I'm just hanging out. I'm staying pretty steady. That guy ends up losing on the other table, and I'm continuing on. I get a big negative count, like 19, 18, somewhere in there. And I switch back to the first table because after that guy left, they spread the cards. So now it's going to be a new shoe. Switch over there, switch back to the other table again, switch back to the other one again, switch back to the other one again. I was at both tables 4 times today. Now, if they don't see what I'm doing after all that, then they don't want to see, or I'm not taking enough from them for them to care. So I was involved, and I'm still just losing and losing, but now I'm getting big swings, big positive counts, big negative counts, back and forth, and that takes me toward the end. Now I've been at this table for over 2 hours, close to 2.5 hours at this table, and I'm down 6,000 at this point, but I have a big count. I got a true 5, so I decide to rebuy for 1,000. And I'm like, at this point, I had already started raising my max because number one, I'm behind anyway. Number two, my bankroll can take it. So, you know, if my bankroll can take it and the count is good and I'm not getting heat, might as well go for it, right? So I buy in for 1,000 and I get over a true 5, and I put it all out there. I win the hand. And I put another 1,000 out. I get a blackjack. Now I've got like 2,500. And the count's still high. I said, I'm going to put another 1,000 out there. Now the pit boss is standing right next to me at this point. And they're like, oh, no, you got to drop it down to 200. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna keep on going and see what happens. So I drop it down to like 800 just to make it look like, okay, well, you've got a feeling, so, you know, let's see what happens. And I end up losing the hand. So now I'm back to betting 1,000 again because the count's still up there. And the count just continued to go up and up and up. And I'm like flabbergasted at how high the count's going. Sorry, I'm looking for a chip I lost here. I'm missing $500 somewhere. There's 15. Oh, Lord. Oh, there it is. Man, I hate that. Don't you hate that? All right. So the count keeps going up and up and up. I get to the point where I've got 1.5 decks to go, and this guy, this dealer, is on my side. He doesn't really know what I'm doing, but he knows that in his mind, if you have a good shoe going, you want it to last as long as possible. So he cut it super thin. So he's cutting it like half a deck. And I'm betting 1,000 win, lose, back and forth, but the count continues to go up. We get to about a deck and a half to go, and I have a running 33. I mean, what is the odds of having a plus 33 running count with a deck and a half to go? Just think about the makeup of that shoe, what is left in the shoe. I mean, it's incredible. And so I'm max betting it every hand, and I get toward the end, and I'm in for a total of 7,000 at this point, and I've got $6,000 in front of me, and I bet 1,000, and I said, just give me a blackjack. Come on, give me a blackjack. And because the count's so high, me or the dealer, someone's getting a 20 or a blackjack. It's going to happen. So he gives me a jack of clubs, which is a blackjack. I'm like, yeah, does that count? Blackjack. And then he gives me the ace, and he's got a face card. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. He's got a king, I think, and he flips over a queen, and I got 1,500. But when I got that jack, the jack of clubs, the next card was the cut card, so it was the end of the shoe. So now I've gone from a $100 bet to a $1,000 bet. I've gone from $1,000 in front of me to $7,500 in front of me in like a quarter of a shoe. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. So that was the end of the shoe. I got up and I left, and I cashed out $2,500 at the high limit cashier, $2,500 at the low limit cashier, and then I went to the poker cashier and I put $2,500 on the table, and she said, "Did you play poker with all this?" I said, "Yeah, poker." And she cashed it out for me, no problem. So no issue there. But imagine having a true 22 count. How often do you get a true 22? So anyway, I ended that session after about 2.5 hours, plus 500, spreading from 100 to 1,000. The low for the session was minus 6,000. The high for the session was plus 500, and I left plus 500. Slots, I made 39 cents, so plus 0 on the slots. And right now I'm heading off to another casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I'm back. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing again. Everything's okay. Calm down. All right. So I go into this place, and my goal here is not to play blackjack. It's to cash chips because I've got a lot of chips. I want to get rid of some of them, and lately blackjack has been awful at this casino. In fact, I haven't done the rundown of each casino and how I did at them, but this is one of the ones that I would suspect I may have made a loss at last year. So anyway, so I'm looking at slots first, and I don't see anything, and then I remember a new one that I hadn't checked, and sat down at that and played that one through, and I was down about $23, I think, after playing that. Then made one other play, and that one went well, and that was at $10 a spin, and I made a few hundred on that one, and then went and cashed some chips at the low limit and cashed some chips at the high limit area, and that's all I could do for now. So did not play any blackjack, but didn't find any other slot plays either. So overall, I ended up ahead $219, so plus $219 more dollars, and we're moving on. Now the next casino is a long way off, so it's about 2.5 hours from here. And the issue now is I was supposed to come home tomorrow morning or afternoon, early afternoon, because my wife has an appointment I need to take her to. But now she's saying it got moved up to morning. So I need to try to get home by 5 or 6 in the morning. So things are going to change quite a bit here. And then I've got work tomorrow as well. So I'll be helping her at the same time I'll be working, and probably no sleep. So the plan was to sleep at this next casino in that area, and then start heading toward home tomorrow, and maybe pick up 1 or 2 extra casinos on the way. But now everything's up in the air, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to move on to this next casino. Hopefully I do well. Hopefully timing wise everything is good, and I have plenty of time, because I'd like to throw 2 more casinos in that were not on the schedule because of this change. So if I can get in and out of there in an hour, hour and a half, I might be able to add some other casinos to my trip. So that's what's going on right now. We're continuing on our trip. It is early evening, sun's going down, 27 degrees outside, cloudy skies, heavy traffic. I'll be back. Hey guys, I'm just going to record this because I may not be able to record anymore after this for a while. Something is going on with my charger again. I have one of these AC plugs that go into my cigarette lighter, and then I can plug regular stuff that would normally go in a wall socket into it. And again, just like it did about a week ago, it's acting up. So I'm going to attempt to find another one. The nearest grocery store is like 30 miles away from here, and I'm about 60 miles away from my next casino. So I'm hoping that they will have what I need, and I'll be able to start charging this again. Otherwise, I may not be able to record for a while until I figure something out. I know I can charge wirelessly at some slot machines, but that would just take forever. So yeah, right now I'm trying to get this thing working, and I'm looking for a place to stop so that I can charge both my laptop and my phone. I should be here most of the night, and if things work out, to other casinos as well. So hopefully I'm not stuck here. So and I don't know the directions either, so one way or another I'm gonna have to get this phone charging. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So it looks like I got it working again. I think I figured out the issue. I think the way these things work is they're like a little power plant. So they get power from the car, and they store it, and they convert it so that it can be used by a bigger device. Now, when I went into my casinos, I left the laptop plugged into it, so there was no power flowing to it, but the device had all the power taken out of it by the laptop, so it was completely dead. So when I started the car and plugged my phone in, there was no power, and it couldn't create power because I was drawing power, I believe. So when I stop from that one, I'm going to try to unplug it and see what happens. I think that should solve my problem, or just not have anything plugged into it while I'm away from it. So anyway, my battery got down to about 15%, and now it's back up to about 40%. Right now I am about 20 minutes away from my next stop. I did stop for some fuel because I was going to get a battery charger from the gas station, but everything is working fine now. So I'm going to get a full tank of gas, and I should be good for a while. So I'm going to let you go right now. And it's very dark here. No lights, no reflectors on the highway, nothing. So just got to be careful. And temperature's down to 19 degrees and still dropping. So I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and it didn't go as well as I would have liked. On top of that, temperatures are just brutal here. It is currently 9 degrees before the wind chill. It is pretty brutal. Just walking to my car was probably like a 3 or 4 minute walk. It was very frigid. So, alright. Let's see here. I walk in, I place some slots. I'm ahead, like, actually, I need to convert this here. It would be 115, total of 471. Part of it was a deal I had worked out with someone else, so not all of it's mine, but $471 on the slots. And then I was a little hungry. I decided to go to the poker room because they have free food there, and I could rest a little bit and play a little bit. I had like a ham and cheese wrap, some chips, a drink, stuff like that, and played there for a while. Had some really tough variants. Let's just say in the time I was there, there was two hands that were 4 aces, one with a king kicker, and one hand that was a straight flush to the jack. So pretty brutal variance there. And I ended my blackjack, or my poker session, down 200. And then I went and played some single deck blackjack. And the last time I was here, I sat with 2 young guys. I think they were brothers, and I think one of them was at the table with me today. And I played until they were closing the table, and ended that session ahead only $100. So plus 100 there. So yeah, pretty tough. The problem here is it's far away from everything, so everyone in the area comes here to gamble. And unfortunately, this is actually an Indian casino. Unfortunately, the gambling age at this casino is like whatever, 18, 19, something like that. So and I know some of them are even lower than that, but I think this one's maybe 18. So there were all kinds of young people in here, and a lot of them had already learned slots and stuff, and there was just no opportunity there, and just going through the motions basically is all I did. So very unfortunate, but right now I am heading back toward home. I wasted a lot of time here, and because of that, I'm going to have to actually, instead of adding a couple spots, I'm going to have to remove one spot. And the next casino that I go to is 2 hours and 45 minutes away, so it's going to be a long one. Hopefully we get something decent there. I'm not very optimistic. By the time I get there, I think it's going to be pretty wiped out. But right now, I'm going to sit back and relax, listen to some podcasts, and head that direction toward home. And by the way, you know, I finished that Bible in a year twice, and then the Catechism in a year. I was starting another one, but I didn't like it, so I'm going back to the Bible in a year. Trust me on this, I've never been one to read the Bible or be that big on it, but now that I listen to it, and it's explained to me, and they go step by step, you really learn a lot, and it's amazing how all the different parts of the book come together. Like, you read from 5 different or 4 different or 3 different chapters in different books at the same time, and you see how parallel they are. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, pretty cold outside. On my way. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I just finished a YouTube live that I did for about 45 minutes and had some really good discussions with people. I am not going to publish it. I just deleted it. But a lot of people asked a lot of specific questions in there, things that I normally wouldn't have on the podcast. But most of the time we had less than 10 people in there at a time, so I was able to kind of communicate with them one-on-one and really kind of understand where they're coming from and address a lot of the things that they had on their mind. So, and I had the video on. You could see exactly where I was, what roads I was driving and all that. So I don't want to have that on there where a lot of people are going to see it. But that was fun doing that. And a lot of these people have already emailed me in the past, and it's good to work together. Right now, I am an hour and 11 minutes away still from my next stop. And by the time I get there, I think it's going to actually be pretty good timing. It's going to be 2 a.m., 2:15 a.m. And I think I'll be able to go in there and probably find a couple plays, I hope. I mean, it's Wednesday night to Thursday, for God's sake. You'd think that, I'd have the ability to make some money because people are gone. At that last casino I was at, there were so many young people. It was crazy. There's no way you're going to make any money at that place unless, like, someone just got up off a machine. So, you guys want to do the segments? I still have casinos I'm going to visit, but we could do the segments here. So, what did you eat today, MW? And so at my second casino, wait a minute, where am I going here? I think I'm going the right way. At my second casino that I went to, I had a Cajun chicken breast, and I had fries with that also. And I had the chicken breast at the casino there in the parking lot, and then later on in the day I ate the fries, so that was good. And it's good, but like when they put things in a to-go box, they get kind of soggy sometimes, so they really need to work on like how many air holes to have in there, because otherwise too much steam is trapped in there and it gets kind of mushy. So I would still give it probably a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then I didn't eat anything else until like 10 p.m. and I had a half of a ham and cheese wrap at that casino at the poker room. And that was okay. It's kind of like like cafeteria food, so I'd give it like a 6. It was like it had more lettuce in it than it did meat, but for the price, who's going to complain? And then after I left there, I wanted to stop and get some food. There was nowhere available, and there was only a Taco Bell that was open. So I really don't go to Taco Bell because so much salt. But I had a Crunchwrap Supreme, which was okay, and a Mexican pizza, which I like a lot. My wife likes it a lot, and they got rid of it for a while, but now it's back. So that's what I had, and I would give them probably piss poor ratings, probably an 8 on a scale of 2 through ace. But there really wasn't much else for me to do. The one thing that saved the flavor for me was I put a lot of Diablo sauce on there, and that kind of masks it, but now you've got acid taste instead of food taste. But anyway, all right, continuing on here, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So quiet. 3:30 in the morning. Just leaving this casino and heading toward home. Should get home right on time. Give me about an hour to get a nap and shower and get going for the day. Now, I know there's a couple emails I need to send, so while my wife is taking care of her stuff, I can take care of those emails, and everything should be good there. Other than that, I think everything is all caught up and ready to go for tomorrow. I went into this casino, and Was expecting to find some things because everyone's been gone for many hours. And I did find a couple small plays. I actually found a very unusual play, one that I haven't found in many months. I played that one through. It's a cheap one, it's 50 cents. And I ended up making about $20 on that one. And then looked around a lot and really didn't find anything else. And then I found another play that I never find. And that one gave me about $20 as well. And I had seen a play when I first walked in, and I was a little iffy about it. I was thinking about it, but I wasn't positive. And I came back around to it and decided that the lower jackpots were worth it, that even if I didn't hit the one I was going for. And so I was hoping that the one I was going for would hit first, and then I would abandon the other ones, but the other ones hit first, and I abandoned the one I was initially going for. And I ended my session, that one was at $2 a spin. I ended my session overall ahead $189. So plus another $189. And yeah, everything is good. Just gonna sit back and relax and take my time getting home, be safe. The temperature is up to a scalding 21 degrees outside, so it's already up like 12 degrees in the last 3 hours, 4 hours. So all that's good. So heading home, and I'm not sure what tomorrow is going to bring, but we'll find out. So for now, I'm going to let you go. And if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.